welcome. This is a correction video. There was a mistake on this problem, so I just want to solve that again. Make sure it doesn't have an error. All right, so opposite angles of a parallelogram are always congruent. So we can set the opposite angles congruent to one another, and we can solve for the missing variables. So first we can solve for x. Right? We can't solve the other equation yet because we would have too many unknowns in one equation. But we can certainly solve the fact that the angle marked 2x is congruent to the angle marked 70. If we divide both sides by 2, x is 35. Now that we know x is 35, we can set the other two angles congruent to one another, because both pairs of opposite angles in a parallelogram are always congruent. And now this would be too many variables to solve, except we already know what x is. X is 35. So we can replace the x with 35. So 3 times 35 plus 5 equals 35 plus 3y. I think the other one had a computation error. And I think it's right here on the multiplication. So 3 times 35, 3 times 30 would be 90. 3 times 5 would be 15. So this would be 105 plus 5 equals 35 plus 3y. We can add the 105 and 5 together. That would be 110 equals 35 plus 3y. Subtract 35 from both sides. So that would be 75 equals 3y. And then divide both sides by 3. So y is 25. All right. Let me show you another way to solve this problem that I think might be a little easier. So not only are the opposite angles of a parallelogram congruent, the consecutive angles are supplementary. So just because we use the fact that the opposite angles are congruent for finding one variable doesn't mean we have to stick with it if we'd like to change up. So let me just show you another way. So consecutive angles in a, I'm going to abbreviate parallelogram again as p-gram, are supplementary. So let me just show you another way to solve this. Now, any pair of them is supplementary. I think it might be nice to use the one that has the 70 in it, right? These would add to 180, just because now one of them is a constant and doesn't have a variable in it. Right? We have to use the one with the y. While all the others would be true statements, it wouldn't help us solve for y. So those consecutive angles are supplementary. So another way we could solve is we could do it this way. X plus 3y plus 70 equals 180. We know that x is 35. We already solved that. So 35 plus 3y plus 70 is 180. Add the 35 and the 70 together, and you get 105. Plus 3y is 180. Subtract 105 from both sides. 75 equals 3y. And then you get the exact same answer. Right? Y is 25. All right, so it doesn't matter which way you solve it. Both of these work. It's just a matter of personal preference. And they work because both facts are true about a parallelogram. The opposite angles are congruent, and the consecutive angles are supplementary. So thank you for watching this video and letting me correct my work. Bye for now.